Alright everyone, hi. If you're joining us or if you're starting this video up, I'm just looking around here doing some interesting things, but mainly just, upgrading my spaceship is mainly what I've been trying to do lately. I just finished updating my inventory. As you can see, I have the max of 48 slots, which is nice. I get to play around with all this stuff whenever I want to. That way I can collect whatever I want to collect and not have any issues. I did the whole create crafting bypass chips with plutonium and iron to try to get that done faster. That way we don't have any issues, or I didn't have too many issues trying to get all the money resources for this. And I've just seemed to land it at a transmission or Zalaura post, however you want to pronounce that, but it's a transmission tower sitting right here. Let's see if I can get myself an upgraded ship. Talk to this alien real quick. He's an ugly dude. I don't know. But these guys, apparently they like violence. They're really looking at like warrior type of race. And let's see what he wants to say. Warrior looks at me with fires and eyes. Species clearly aggressive. Doubt I'm welcome. Yeah, this is a very aggressive species. Kind of funny. Every time, no, I want to say about 50% of the time, they deal damage to me. It's like, what the hell? Alright, I'm trying to help you out. Give me a freaking blow to the face. Let's see, I don't feel in imminent danger, and I'm about to turn and leave when the creature points toward my multi-tool. It barks with concern, and making a motion suggests that I should hand it over. No, I'm not going to hand over my multi-tool. Hopefully it's the right one. He respects my decision, yep. That's only because they're, like, very honorable type of race, and, like, it's kind of like almost samurai-ish, where, the weapon's very important to them. Let's see if I can get another. Yeah, I got another word. When you go back to talk to them afterwards, you can definitely get more words. That way you can figure out what they're trying to say sometimes, and sometimes it's just random what they're saying. And then just get the rest of the stuff in here. But after talking to them for the first time, you got to give them some carbon, and you'll get another dialogue. Generally, I want to say maybe 50% of the time, it's a new word. Other than that, it'll be just random refill your shields, give you some isotopes, whatever. But I've seen that. I've tried to talk to them multiple times afterwards, and they don't give me much after that. They don't give me another word. So I think the word is just like a one-time deal per alien. And with these codes here, generally they tend to be just a mathematical problem or mathematical sequence. It's either counting down, counting up, adding, subtracting by sequential numbers most of the time. So reading this, it's kind of, just gives you a little backstory of what happened. But this here, let's see, 5, 14, 41, 122. 5 to the 14, let's say it's multiplied by 3 minus 1. And then 14, what's 14 go into 41? So let's say 14 times 3 is going to be 42 minus 1. So there you get 41. So let's try 122 times 3 minus 1 equals, 122 times 3 minus 1 would equal 361. Yeah, but that's not on here, so I'm off in that calculation. Let's see what else we can do. So 5 times 4 is 3 minus 1, 14 minus 1, 41. 41 times 3 is 123, minus 1 would equal 122. That's the pattern. So 122 times 3 is 366 minus 1, 365. There we go. Sorry, I was just trying to do some math in my head. Also, I just said forget it and threw it on my phone. It's funny, you know, it is what it is, but calculator, easy day. So yeah, those math problems, sometimes you'll see it's like multiplied by 1, by 2, by 3, and the sequential numbers, and those are not all that hard to figure out sometimes, most of the time. But or it'll be counting down. It's like divide by 7, divide by 6, divide by 5. We'll see. And it's not all that bad. But now, let's go to the ship. Let's see where we go. I don't know. I was having mad issues with this game earlier, with just frame rates earlier, just because of SLI not functioning. And running on 1970 was decent at 1440, but not the greatest. And I went and looked up how to try to get some better frame rates, try to make the game run a little bit better, tweaking the settings. So I turned off G-Sync because it's on by default. I looked around in any other settings. I still have all my settings at Ultra though. I'm not going to try to sacrifice that. Which still works actually pretty good. But you'll see, usually at a crash ship, you'll have some damaged machinery or something interesting. But before we go on to that, let's go back to frame rates. Downloading the beta drivers for No Man's Sky has definitely helped a lot. It looks like they're really working on getting everyone some decent frame rates on decent, multiple configurations of hardware. That being said, I have two 970s overclocked pretty decently, and I shouldn't have too many issues with this game at all, but it turned out I did, unfortunately, because of their programming. But it looks like they have fixed most of that, and then also NVIDIA came out with the drivers trying to optimize as well. Hopefully they talk to that way, they're not, what's it called? Hopefully, they're not counterbalancing what they're programming and figuring out. Let's see. Behind is a partially smashed rack of military multi-tools secured by a sparkling alien locking mechanism. The cockpit door hangs slightly ajar, and I can see operational equipment inside. Let's see. Do we enter the cockpit or attempt to take the multi-tool? And I want... I don't need another multi-tool because I also maxed that out. That wasn't too hard, and my last upgrade only cost me like 60,000 units, which is pretty cheap. But I think the right one might be attempt to take a multi-tool. Let's see. Oh no. Oh well. I got pain, but it looks like I got an upgraded multi-tool. Let's see if it's even comparable with the one that I have now. Mining. Mine has a little bit better mining. Weapons, almost the same. I can honestly not that much difference. Scanner's pretty much on par. Or actually grenades. Sorry, that third one here is grenades. And we're looking at, this is the scanner here. My scanner is way more upgraded than that. I'm not. I don't know. Oh, this is interesting. I just noticed that both of them have the same texture on here, or the same, skin and model. That's interesting. But I do not need this one, so I will not be taking it. But yeah, like I don't know. They ranted and talked about procedural generation and it being a huge thing within the game, but a lot of the buildings look entirely the same. I haven't seen too many colors that were they don't have that many variations of colors. Obviously that last multi-tool that we saw proves that, I don't know, the variation isn't that much, or isn't there completely. So looking at this ship, I'm going to do my ship upgrading the cheap way. I'm not trying to save up or farm millions upon millions of credits for a new ship. That's just an ungodly amount of waste of time. So I'm going to instead try to find a a lot more ships and a lot more ships and just fix them. Fixing ships is by far really easy and not that time consuming. So we're going to transfer everything over here. Dismantle as much technology as I can from the old ship to transfer it over. That way I can, keep the resources that I do have and not need to rebuild so much. Or not have to farm as many resources as I did before. So these are the base items in here that you cannot dismantle for your ship. So they're always going to be just sitting here. And you can't touch them, unfortunately, but that's part of gaming and part of the ship. But here we go. So I just transferred everything over. I'm going to take this new ship, and luckily repairing the ship is pretty simple, and you don't actually have to repair everything. All you have to repair is the shield. Let's make some cardioid sheets. You're gonna need at least like 5 or 6 of these, or quite a few. So I know. Let's see. The launch thrusters need 4. You don't need to repair the hyperdrive or the warp reactors, but you do need to repair the pulse engine, which needs another cardioid sheet and some zinc, which I might have to go farming for that because I don't have any. Holy shit. This is a bad time to go looking for a ship, I guess. I need to redo this. I am playing this on a PS3 controller because I haven't bothered to buy a PS4 one, and I'm just using Scarlet Crush's PS3 adapter to make it think it's a Xbox controller, which works really well for me. I like the way and the feel and the controls on a PlayStation controller than the Xbox controller. So this worked out better for me just to do that. And so launch thrusters, I can refill that a little bit, but we're not going to be going anywhere until we can repair this deflector shield. Unfortunately, the game doesn't let you do anything. I need to get some Heridium. I think I might have seen some Heridium around here somewhere. There's big square towers. That one right there is a big square tower of Heridium. It's really easy to find. All of the minerals and oxides or whatever you want to call them, they all have the same look and colors everywhere you go. Whatever planet, no matter what you find, they're going to be the same, which kind of sucks. I'd like to see some variation with mineral colors and textures and everything, only because I mean, that's what they do in real life as well. I mean, you're not going to see perfect symmetry in every rock, every mineral. It's going to be a little bit different. Which, I mean, yeah, they have, they're changing textures and everything, but it's not completely huge or it looks like, completely different in every form that you can find. Like, instead of just a big tower for Heridium, make them a little bit different shapes, but still have that tower-like look to them. That way, it's unmistakable as Heridium, which wouldn't be too bad, and it would probably add a little bit more to the mining, and it would make it less boring. For sure, mining is pretty ridiculous at times, where you're just looking around for the same shit over and over. But that's what this game is, actually. Honestly, it's a mining, farming game, survival game. I like it. Personal thoughts on this game, pretty good. I haven't had too many issues besides the graphical and frames per second issues that were present at the launch day. Oh, pulse engine. Oh, there we go. This is the one that I need to sync. Okay. The launch day problems. The rest of the gameplay, the rest of looking at the game hasn't been too bad. And story's kind of small, but it gets interesting. Your main protagonist, the traveler or interloper, whoever, depends on who you speak with, he's got like some internal crisis going on. He's looking at you know, why is he here? What's he doing really? But also, it's from what I've seen, he's wondering what he's doing, but also looking where he's going to go next, or what's he really going to do? Why is Atlas talking to him, and what the whole deal is with his existence. Now, the sad thing is you don't see any other NPCs that are your race that actually ever speak 100% in your language, so that is kind of annoying most of the time. You're like, holy shit, okay, you have to speak with all these aliens, but you never find anyone that's your race. So that would be kind of strange, you know. You would think, hey, I crash landed in some random area, but you know, traveling to other places, it's still not you know, you think you would see more people of your own personal race. That would be interesting. But I think that's probably a design choice that the game makers made, Hello Games decided on, was just because that, you know, because of the way they wanted the game to be explored and played, and the experience of it all. You know, just lonely journeyman, lonely explorer in you know, the universe and how expansive and large it can be. Which, yeah, you know, universe is pretty large, but also playing this game, I get that sense of scale, that huge sense of scale when you're looking at the map. It's just insanely big, but also of like how much you can and cannot explore, because the warp drive only does go so far. Which, you know, with further upgrades, yeah, you're gonna get more, but I'm still pretty relatively new in this game. I've probably only played like 20 hours or so, but in looking at it, it's, you know, I can't be going that far. You know, I got, oh, come on, where are we going? And hyperdrive is damaged, so I can't go anywhere right now. I need to find a space station, which, if you just do a scan when you're high enough off that atmosphere of the planet, you will find the location. There it is. A space anomaly, that's part of the story, part of Atlas' story going through the game. The space station is there. Which, you know, doing that little pulse engine makes things go by a lot faster when you're traveling, especially going around the planet. I've noticed travel, trying to maneuver the spaceship, or your spaceship, whatever you want to call it, through the atmosphere is kind of annoying. The game really restricts you when you're close to the ground so that you don't crash, but also just the controls in general are very sluggish for the game, and so I'd like to see that improved, definitely. And in with maneuvering and controls on foot as well is not entirely intuitive or not entirely fluid as I would like it to be. Now, I haven't seen another way to get it around here faster, except for like sprinting and jump back. Unfortunately, you can't use your weapon in here, which it is what it is, but we're gonna see if we can find or buy, what is this again? It's a dynamic resonator, which apparently you can craft it, but I have not found the formula for this thing yet, so I'm gonna have to buy some. Luckily, I'm kind of in good with the trade gods or whatever, and have some cash to spare to buy these things, which they're not too terribly expensive, but some things do get ridiculously expensive at times when you're looking at things like this terminum. Yeah, that shit's stupid expensive for one. But if you can find this on sale somewhere, if you could find a planet that has a lot of these just laying around, dude, you can make some cash. It'd be nice. It'd be very nice. So here we go. We're gonna repair these real quick. Ooh, I need some iridium still. And this one I can repair, but I need iridium. I need more of that shit. I was just down on the planet. And that's one of the things you do find yourself doing, is you go back and forth quite a bit sometimes, looking for things or farming, farming just because I guess the game's kind of designed that way, especially in the beginning when you're have a small inventory. It just makes it very difficult to get everything that you need right away or easily. But you know, with decent inventory management, you'll be able to get most things. And me, sometimes I'm a little forgetful. I'll sell items that I need later on. Like I actually had a stack of like 1,000 zinc earlier, and I was building those bypass chips, and I totally forgot that I needed them later, or needed the zinc later. And so I sold all of my zinc because I was like, oh, it's extra inventory space. I'll just take that or whatever, and I'll get some more later. But zinc is one of those metals that's a little bit harder to farm because they don't really pop up in the world like a normal metal would, like this iridium here that I'm farming. It's mostly in the plants. You have to find those little yellow plants to farm zinc, which, ooh, that's copper. Copper's worth quite a bit, if I recall, but let me see if I have any to just check the value. So yeah, 110, that's not bad at all compared to a couple of other metals. You know, it's compared to, let's see, iron, which it only has like 13. Copper's not a bad metal to farm out in the beginning, if you can farm it. I'm gonna take a little bit of this just to max out that spot that I have with 250 of it out here, only because I might need it later on. If you end up needing metals, like sometimes I end up deleting things and I'm like, oh shit, I needed that. You know, not even 20 minutes later. It's kind of weird how this game works out sometimes, where you're like, oh yeah, I don't need this crap, and then 20 minutes later, oh shit, I need something. It's too funny. So yeah, 250, there we go. And I went from an extremely hot planet earlier down to an extremely cold planet. That's too funny. As you can see with the temperatures. And the temperatures aren't all that much of an issue. Neither is the radiation or the toxin or whatever the environmental hazard is. If you can find shelter from it, or just go back to your ship pretty often, it's something that you can manage pretty easily. And if not, just like I said, zinc. It's too funny. Zinc, titanium, or a shielding shard will refill this, which you can find shielding plates and shielding shards very easily at like any outpost or any little location that has a question mark. There's always like at least one zinc, or not zinc, but shielding shard or shielding plate sitting at one of those. They're very, very common, I've noticed, and it's gotten to the point where I don't even use them. Honestly, I just refill it with zinc. But me being the dumbass that I was earlier, I sold all my stockpile of zinc that I had. I had quite a bit. So now I'm looking for a little bit more. Let's see here. That was one over there. So I go back to my ship and repair this. I believe I have enough now. Iridium. And warp cells. So I have the materials to make some warp cells, which is nice, because once you get an Alice past V1, it makes finding and building warp cells so much easier, because every little circle container that you see with ooh, I need some thamium. I don't have any. Okay, every little container that you see, that's a little circle that looks like a tube next to outposts or little areas. Whenever when you find them, they have, I guaranteed 90% of the time, is a material to make a warp cell. It's pretty easy to find those things, and so finding warp cells after probably like the first or second planet gets a whole lot easier. Well, not actually the first or second planet. It actually took me like 5 or 6 planets to get the Atlas Pass blueprint, because you got to follow the path of Atlas to actually get to it. But once you do have it, it's traveling huge distances becomes easy, a whole lot easier, which isn't too bad. And I'm just gonna go in space for Thamium, because farming those little plants for Thamium is really not effective or easy. It's so much better to go farming in space, because the little asteroids, guaranteed they're Thamium every time. It's the big asteroids that you go and farm will have more exotic metals, copper, aluminum, and some other very exotic metals, the bigger asteroids, which is nice. And don't get me wrong, Thamium's rare resource on planet, but outside of planet in space, it's plentiful. So there's no reason not to. And I'll actually refill my Thamium, just so I don't need to use platinum most of the time. Just because it's pretty plentiful in space, and it refills your multi-tool by a ton. Like every bit of Thamium is like insane, energetic, or how we call it, to has a lot of, I guess, energetic potential or whatever to refill your multi-tool. I'm not exactly sure how they're split it, but copper, refills at least, or not copper, I'm sorry. It's carbon. Carbon refills your multi-tool the least. Plutonium the next, and then Thamium 9 refills it the most. So let's get these warp cells in here. And then launch thrusters. It requires plutonium, pulse engine. But you can refill your multi-tool with Thamium as well, and that, just like you'll see here, it's not even a huge chunk of Thamium got taken out of this. Let's see. Back down here, it was this one. So it was 442 out of 500. So it only used like 60, less than 60, 58 to refill it from whatever that point was that the multi-tool was down. But as you can see, it's just, it refills it pretty good, because if it was a plutonium, it would probably take in quite a bit more, probably a little over 100 plutonium to fill that up, that equal amount. And then for carbon, that would have taken at least easily 200 carbon. So that's not all that bad. Now, let's see what I wanted to do. I wanted to jump to some new planets, that's for sure. I should probably repair the rest of this stuff, that way I can have some offensive capabilities. You never know when pirates are gonna swoop down on you. I've had quite a few run-ins with pirates. And speak of the devil, here we are. These bastards suck only because they can disable your phase drive and your warp drive. Or can they? I don't know, let's see. And interesting, I guess you can warp out. But oh no, that's if they target you directly. Right now I'm let's see here. It's if they ask for distress signal. So here we go. Here we go. Pirates. Sometimes they're hard to just figure out which ones they are. So you'll see the pirate ships here. He's highlighted. We got 2 ships here. There we go. And refilling your shields mid-battle is, you know, a really nice part of this game, which makes it, you know, combat easier in a sense. See, here we go. We got whatever valuables that they have. For sure, it makes it easy. Now we got, oh shit, 8 gold ships. Good thing I got a lot of iron. There could definitely be shields sometimes. I'm flying on that. It's not on that. Because like there's some buttons and just trying to do like what a normal aircraft would do, like uprights. It doesn't exactly work. I guess it's like momentum system or something. What's going on? I generally just kind of sit still and let them attack me. And especially when you get into a dark area where there's not a lot of light, that sun is actually really close. So it's easier to spot. But if you're out in the distance, you won't be able to see, like, you know, the loot that will drop all that easy. It's harder to spot something. I've lost quite a bit by not being able to spot something. That crow might be pretty valuable. It doesn't snack, so every one you gotta have, which sucks. More shield. So there. Which combat at this point is, I don't know. It's interesting, but it's easy with lasers, but it's a lot harder with the blasters. But the blasters do a lot of damage as well. So if you can get some good, decent hits on them. And I don't know, these, I would really love for a way to disable these milestones until I'm done with a task I'm doing, or like, say if I'm in the middle of this firefight here, I'd love to disable that milestone. It totally takes out your health, and it just obscures a lot of the view for what you're doing sometimes. It's just distracting. But not only that, it can really get you killed sometimes. Like, I was in a pretty bad fight, and this milestone came out of these pirates, hostile ships, whatever. And so, where'd it go? You can see he's lost. I know he dropped something. He had to have dropped something. Oh, there we go. I got it anyway. Yeah. Move that over. I got some store space. If you don't have any store space when you're in the ship, if you collect something, it won't just automatically go into your inventory. It's kind of retarded because, you know, you're obviously there. But if you don't have anything here, tough luck. It's kind of counterintuitive, because you would think, you know, hey, I'm kind of sitting in the ship, I have spots for things, but oh, I'm gonna use 2 more of those. But yeah, so let's recharge our shields real quick and get out into the universe. Let's find some more planets. So far we've been on a fire planet or not fire planet. That'd be pretty funny. Lava planet. Let's go to Star Wars. But extreme heat and extreme cold. That's one of the more common ones that I've seen. But I have been on a radioactive planet, and ooh, this one's getting me pretty far. Warp drive, too far to jump. Upgrade drive, yeah, see. But if we look and we go to free mode, where is it? Where we're going? Free mode. Then from where we were, it just moved over, like maybe to like this planet. It's not very far. Not very far at all, unfortunately. But as we're looking deeper and deeper into the center of the universe, this is pretty stupid far here. I'm not sure how far you'll eventually be able to upgrade with your hyperdrive, but definitely, you know, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to get pretty far out here. Now, as we're looking, you can scan for discoveries, and you might find something that another person dropped or another person renamed or something like that. With a couple of the planets that I've been on, I've actually renamed them to like a valuable resource that they have really in common. Like one planet had a crap ton of emerald just sitting on the surface. Like every 100, 200 yards that you would go, there's a good bit of emerald just sitting there. And emerald is one of the best metals to farm for money. If you're not into creating a crap ton of bypass chips, because it does sell for like 270 units each. That's a good chunk. Like I would have a stack of emerald and sell it for several 100,000 credits. That's not bad, or units. That's not bad at all. But I don't even know where we're at now. Let's go. Okay. Let's see, we're too far that it just said fuck it. We're just gonna re-upload you. What's my waypoint currently? Where am I going? What's this one? Okay. We got an Atlas interface. We have... What's that one? I don't know, this whole like quest thing is kind of weird. Like you only can really track things either in the inventory by pinning the formulas, so that you can when you're on planet, you can figure out what you need and try to search for that, or looking up at the LB at the RB at the top. That's how you pick what you're looking for. That's what the waypoints will point to, and that's what the stars get connected by. So this path, if I want to go down this way, it's going to take me to the center of the galaxy or universe. Free exploration mode is the second dot, and then the third, fourth, and fifth dots are other items or other things that you have, like, for some odd reason, decided to accept as a quest or accept this waypoint. But let's go to this Atlas interface here, because we can. I've been following the path of Atlas pretty thoroughly, I guess, for a bit. But ooh, let's see if we can get all the way. Nope, too far. So let's go to this planet here, or this solar system. It's not even a galaxy, it's just a star with some planets around it. That's too funny. But if we can see something here. I am looking at chat, and if anyone has any questions about what I do, be sure to shoot him, or if you want some tips or whatever, let me know. I'm definitely down to answer things. But just, we're exploring. We're taking a look at what's in this galaxy. Or not even a galaxy. We got an abandoned building. Probably something that's been taken over. I don't know if you guys have seen that before. generally at the trading posts, you'll have a galactic trade terminal, and they give you some pretty decent prices at them. You'll find some pretty good prices on your goods or minerals, whatever you're farming, at them. And then sometimes, if you're trying to get to a point that's on the other side of the planet, trying to go straight there or like across the surface of the planet is going to take you obviously forever. But also trying to point towards it and boost like around the planet is also very annoying. It's got, I don't know, it's a little intricacies when traveling, when the spaceship doesn't like to go in straight lines sometimes, and it doesn't like to, I don't know, just traverse around the planet in an efficient way, per se. Ooh, colors. This planet is a whole lot more colorful than the one I was just on. This is nice. It's a good thing to see different things. And then also, scanning things with, controllers, the left trigger, or I don't know. I haven't really played too much on keyboard and mouse. For games like these that are honestly designed for controllers, I'll just plug in the controller. It makes it so much easier. But definitely for games that are keyboard and mouse bound, I'll definitely easily play them keyboard and mouse. Just makes life easy that way. Let's see, but yeah, there's definitely some more trees in this planet than the last one. And colors as well. I noticed some planets, their color palette is just drab, god-awful. Now see, usually this door will open for you, or be closed normally, but this is an abandoned building. And most of the time they have a busted-in door with some random shit drawing inside. We'll see. And usually you'll find one of these little terminals here, and it'll tell you sort of kind of what happened. Sometimes it'll be like a random creature, or it'll be like, some parasite or fungus that, destroys the outpost or the building. And I'll notice that this is just like the inner monologue of the traveler. So he kind of has his thoughts imposed on this, so you can it's not like your character or you yourself is experiencing the world. You have his thoughts on everything, which is interesting. That's something I haven't seen in too many games, where usually you just have a list of options or a list of whatever reading of something. You won't have his thoughts or I don't know, it's not a he or she probably, because we never get to see this person. But sometimes it'll give you some options on to try to analyze or to give you different things here. But this one is just an analyze the data log, so I'm going to do that, and we'll see what it does. That will aid me on my own journey. Oh, it's just a blueprint that I already have. Unfortunately, it gets really the blueprint system, I guess they randomly generate within whatever item or whatever pack that you're getting it from. And a lot of times, early in the game, everything's going to be new, obviously. But later on, put a couple of hours in, it just becomes oh, you already have this, you already have this. You don't need this, which kind of sucks. It's not something new every time. But it's definitely, it's a system that I guess they worked out. Yeah, let's enjoy this view a little bit. I'm looking to see if there's anything nearby of interest or anything. And yeah, these planets, I don't know, some of them are just insanely big. We'll just look into the beyond, and
exploring one planet and just like, you know, boosting with the starship quite a bit, like, you know, trying to find, you know, points of interest and everything, just skimming across the surface. And, you know, I was doing that for about a good hour maybe. And then I'm like, you know what, let me go higher, let me like relocate myself. And all of the little points of interest that, you know, that I found were just this small area. I was like, holy shit, this planet's gonna take me forever to, you know, really truly explore completely. But hey, let's see, we got some things here. No, just more rocks. So, you know, scale. That's one of the big things. See, there's a bug here. It's not really letting me traverse forward. Like it had, I don't know, it like stopped me in midair, which is weird. But it's not like a huge bug. But definitely something that, you know, that's odd with the spaceship travel. It's got its little nuances to traveling. You know, in the trailers and stuff that they showed, they obviously, you know, it was all smooth traveling. But you know, in the game, it ooh, free money. These stock transfer terminals, free money. It's always nice. Although it's not very much sometimes. Like that one was about 700. I've seen one where I've gotten, I think, like 2,500, almost 3,000. But I think that's like the most that I've gotten out of one. And yep, technology I already know. That's okay. I still, yeah, I'm decided, kind of torn whether I want to go with the bolt caster or the plasma launcher and upgrade that fully, because the bolt caster, it's actually pretty cool when you have it upgraded, but the plasma launcher really lets you form iron a lot faster than using the mining beam. But as you can see, I updated the bolt caster pretty good there, and actually it's pretty legit, especially in combat. It fires extremely fast now. Got a huge clip, or got a huge magazine. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. This is space gun here, but it shoots pretty good, and takes out sentinels pretty darn fast. With the grenade, on the other hand, and it's reloading the grenade. Oops, let's see, iron. Yeah, blows them up pretty quick. And then when you know, go to a mine, it takes a minute. Oh, there we go. We got some sentinels. Here we go. And then sentinels will drop these debris. They don't drop a whole lot of items for what is it? Warp drives. They look almost the same as them. They're a little bit shorter, but they will drop valuable items and valuable tools. And then you also get some titanium every time you kill one as well, which is nice. Titanium, you don't use it too much, but it definitely helps with shields. It's used to restore shields and then hazardous protection as well. That way you don't have to go back to your ship every 10 minutes from the hazard of dropping. But you can also extend that with technology. You can install a couple suit upgrades here and there that allow you to stay out a lot longer. I was on a radiation planet earlier where it was just beating me to hell. It was just the environmental protection was just dropping stupid fast. Where I guess I was in a storm, and this storm was just making environmental protection just drop like rock. And so I upgraded. I added one of these the protections for radiation, and it literally just made it stop. It completely stopped it. I was surprised. I didn't think they'd they'd do that, but it does take oxides to maintain. So if we look at, that's why I uninstalled them after I'm done with that planet, because then they take up space. So you know, space and inventory. You can obviously build these pretty easily. There's iron and carbon, but I just decided to uninstall it afterwards because I didn't really need them there all the time. I mean, I guess you can have them there, that way you're prepared for any planet, any environment. But generally, you'll have enough time, you know, going out of your ship, or just go back into your ship and reinstall whatever you wanted to install. And oh, we have another drop pod. So these here are drop pods, and inside they contain upgrades for your exosuit, which is just inventory upgrades. But since I'm maxed out, I can no longer interact with these, unfortunately, as you can see here. But that's okay, because, you know, I've got plenty of inventory spots in my exosuit. But we can still find, obviously, we can still save and make a discovery, document it down. And, oh, there's no boxes here. Yeah, usually there will be those long cylindrical tubes and some square boxes containing some plutonium or some other items. But I know we just picked up some neutrino modules, which I believe those were used for some upgrades. Let's see here. Cannons, no. Warp drive. Pulse jet. That's not what I was looking for. Warp reactor. Dynamic resonator. I need another 2 of these. I need some more nickel and aluminum. Those are going to be hard to find. But maybe if we play our cards right, I might just buy it, or find some good stock loads of them. Let's see here. So I don't know. Well, let's see if we can find some resources here. I'll leave here. Looks like a good spot. Little canyons. And caves are generally a good spot to be in, only because the weather effects, the environmental hazards will generally go away. I guess they're safe havens, safe spots from the environment, which is nice. Don't need that. And as you can see, that goes. But we should probably add the damage amplification for the plasma launcher, which is, and they have different levels. Oh, there we go. I need a couple more neutrino modules for this. This is what I was trying to upgrade earlier. Need some more aluminum, some more nickel as well. Well, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna fight these. Yeah, I am. Only because you'll probably give me what I'm looking for. Where did we go? Signal down out of here somewhere. Oh. That's okay. We'll find some more resources here eventually. Here we go, some zinc. Definitely something to keep on hand. I'll know now for later not to sell this stuff, because I had a good bit of it. Unfortunately sold it, not thinking. But hey, it is what it is. Ooh, it's one of those plants. There we go. And these plants here, I don't know. But that's the only really variation that I've seen that's actually hazardous. And I think they were in the demo or something earlier too. But, or not gameplay. Previous. Now, let's see, I need some copper. And I also need... I can't remember exactly where to find some copper. But we're just gonna look. I know I found a good bit of copper in space in some of the asteroids, but those asteroids, like everything else, are randomly generated, so there's always going to be a random mineral in those large asteroids, which kind of makes farming large asteroids a pain because you never know what you're going to find. In space, but we'll see. What is this here? Gold. I'll need too much more gold, but I'll take it anyway. Normally I would probably destroy all of it to get down to the bottom, but I'm just going to destroy this little top piece right here. Get a good chunk of change that way. Now where's my ship? As you can see, the top little compass, if you will, lets you know where your ship is at all times, which is really nice. But it can get obstructed by things at times as well. And yep, going over this. Well, actually, let's go down there. Let's see. Almost died. No, not that much. But see down here, you're protected from whatever the toxic atmosphere is.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
Let's move this over. Now, in your inventory, you have 250 slots, or stacks. You can hold 250 stacks of items, which is not bad. But in your ship, you can hold 500 stacks, which makes inventory management a little bit more complicated, where you're gonna want to, you can optimize your inventory so that you can hold, the things you have the most of in your ship, and then the things you have the least of in your inventory. Makes it nicer that way. But also more of a hassle to see how much you actually have of things. Now let's go in here real quickly, move some of that gold that I just farmed. Where'd it go? There it is. Now that I have iridium, no. But I know I have some platinum, so I'm gonna move this platinum over. As you can see, it just refilled this one to 500. But also I'm gonna move this prisonite over. And I don't believe I have any iridium. Yep, nothing over here that I can stack. Always looking for things to stack. Actually, I'll take these two. Move them over. Iron. Move all this iron over. Don't really need it out here. Copper. Nope. Now let's go into space. See if we get lucky and find some aluminum asteroids. Those are always fun. They're nice. They drop a good amount of stuff. Oh, and looks like we just froze. Sorry about that, everybody. Game crashed. Unfortunately, with this new patch that they did earlier, the game is a whole lot more stable. Frame rates are a whole lot better, but the game seems to crash a lot more, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And we got this here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. OBS is acting up on me. Everything else is acted up on me. Well, I guess I'm just going to end the stream here for now. Sorry about that, everybody. Looks like we're going to be, I'm going to change this up a little bit and add, or not add anything, but see if I can get the game a little bit more stable. Thanks for watching.